Stu here with a quick reminder to please buy tickets for my upcoming special recording of my tour show Horse at Blackfriars in Glasgow, Sunday the 27th of April. Doing the show twice. We'd love to pack it out. Marc and Stevie are going to be there opening up for me.
Yeah.
6 p.m. and 8 p.m. shows
6
as well.
p.m. and 8 p.m. Family affair. It's the last time I'm ever doing the show. We did it in Glasgow at the Stand and it sold out. So we put on 2 more at Blackfriars. If you've seen it before, come on down again, enjoy it again. If not, come and see it, spread the word. I look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh.
Good vibrations.
Your dad's first ever single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sang backup vocals.
Yeah. His first big
Yeah.
number.
Do you think if you were deaf, right, that song would literally have
Good vibrations.
good
for you.
vibrations?
Potentially.
You would think, because
You'd hope so.
they're in danger of misselling. If not,
Aye.
I would say.
You think in the 60s, deaf people sued the Beach Boys because the song Good Vibrations didn't have good vibrations.
I think you could probably get some historic compensation if it doesn't, is all I'm saying.
There's other ways I'd try and make money first.
Yeah. Back then they were saying like cigarettes were healthy for you and stuff.
That's true. They had bigger fish to fry.
No.
Yeah.
Really. I know. But then maybe that's
if you're a
just...
deaf smoker, you'd be quids in.
That's true. Like, I've just bought Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys and a packet of fags. I'm thinking I'm going to
Reparations.
I'm
for
going to
this.
be happy and healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm neither.
It's a scary time now you say it like that.
Who is happy and healthy these days, eh?
That's true. Well, none of us, because we get these body screens in front of us like I've got right now.
What's going on? What are you looking up?
I was just trying to get some...
Are you just finally bored enough of the podcast that you can be on your laptop during the
doing some admin. I'm actually kind of uploading videos as we speak.
invoices?
I just thought it would...
That'd be good. We should actually do
some
admin
prompts.
whilst we're on here.
Yeah,
Make it a bit
If I could
productive.
send a few invoices while I'm here, that would be helpful.
As long as we can keep the convo going, I
Well,
think it'd be fine.
I'm sure that the listeners will not. Well, that's the problem, because I do wonder, like, see, audio podcasts that just are audio. I bet you they do hundreds of mad stuff that we couldn't get away with because it would just look bad on video.
Yeah. Me and
Aye.
Steve have done that.
Have we?
Yeah.
What have you done?
Like when we did What's the Script? Just fucking around.
Yeah, but I don't think we've ever done an invoice.
No, I have done that though, like on The Apprentice one or whatever. Or like if you're in a Zoom situation, you can just do your own
You
thing. If
can kinda
there's more
do
than two, like, if there's more than one other person,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you can chill out. It's
go on
fine.
miniclip.com.
Yeah, exactly, playing some 8-ball pool.
Are you a wee bit under the weather, Stu?
I'm just tired.
Mm-hmm.
Just tired.
You've been
A bit bunged up.
on your
Been
travels?
gallivanting.
You were
I was
over in
gallivanting.
Gay Paris, or as they now need to call it, LGBT Paris.
Heyo, this guy.
That's the way it's going, isn't it?
What, you think you can't say gay? Is that the logic of that joke?
How was it? Well, actually, someone was digging you up on last week's episode
Oh, really?
because
What
you
was that?
pronounced the way you pronounced croissant, which I believe you said croissant,
All right.
and people were saying, "I cannot believe this." And
Croissant?
What is it meant to be?
I don't know.
Croissant?
I genuinely don't know. I think you said.
Croissant.
I think it's croissant. Why did they do that? I don't get why they do that. I'm not making that noise. Sorry. I'm not saying.
We
If
do
I'm saying
that a
French,
lot, though.
what?
We would do that. Scottish people do that. Kind of. Well, that's more Liverpool, isn't it?
Aye,
Ugh.
the Fleming.
Ugh,
We
ugh,
roll
aye.
our R's, don't we? That's the thing that we know. Oh, really?
See, when I was in
really?
Paris, I heard, firstly, I heard an Italian guy get on the metro and then his wife was on the other side and they got locked the wrong side of the doors and he went, Mamma Mia! and
And it was his Mamma Mia.
yeah. And going up the Eiffel Tower, I heard a French woman who was on the ticket booth go, ooh la la.
Really?
And I couldn't believe and I was like, what would the Scottish version of that be? Like, hearing a miserable old guy going, ah.
Get to
Aye.
fuck.
I don't know, like, what would I...
Probably.
Okay, the new.
Okay, the no, that
Okay,
would be
then.
it.
Or what was it? What's the fucking shite that's on the airport when you come out? It's like pure dead brilliant.
That's
Yeah.
on Prestwick Airport.
Yeah.
Showing your ass there, going to that shitey fucking place. But
Good enough for
Listen.
Elvis.
So, yeah, exactly.
Elvis came to the UK, saw Okay the New and fucked back up again.
Elvis had left the building. They should have Elvis has left the building outside Prestwick Airport. That would be a
would
more
work.
appropriate thing. Yeah, pure
I don't
dead
even think he
brilliant.
got into the building, did they? Did
No,
they not
no,
just
he
touch
stayed
down
in
in
the.
the
I don't even think he set foot in Scotland.
He just touched down
His
and
plane was on the tarmac, refueling, I
His
believe.
foot was touching the plane, and the plane
Yeah.
was touching the ground.
And like every
I'll
6
take it.
months, Radio Scotland makes some like documentary about it. The time the king came to Scotland.
Des Clark doing a talking head pretending that he saw Elvis that day and stuff.
So, as someone who's never been to Paris but would very much like to go,
Oui.
Stu, I am interested in your thoughts on it. Was it your first time going?
No, I've been before. Great city.
City of Love.
Does
Yeah,
it
I love this,
stink? People say it stinks.
Parts of it stink, but no worse than parts
Lots
of
of
Glasgow
rats.
stink.
Or London
see a couple
would
of
have been
rats.
maybe more London-esque in terms of stink.
It's a bit more London-esque in terms of stink.
I've heard if you go to the Eiffel Tower, it's like it's not as nice and thingy and
No, the Eiffel
picturesque as
Tower
people.
was great. I'd never been up the Eiffel Tower before, so we did some kind of touristy stuff. Did that.
Did you
Wasn't
go up
many
it?
homeless people there. Went right to the very top.
Nice. There's a restaurant in there. Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't go there.
Fair play.
It's
I'd
a
have
Frankie and
dinner.
Benny's though.
Yeah.
It's like the Greggs and Buchanan bus station. Yeah, parts of it did stink, but not like noticeably, just the odd, like any major city.
Yeah,
There's not much green space, I would say that.
Mm.
Park.
interesting.
Well, there's a couple of parks, but they're fucking rammed like you've never seen before.
Really,
And they like don't let you lie in the grass most of the time, so it's like very.
what do you do?
Thought I saw a
They've
picture
got
of
loads
you
of
lying in the
chairs.
grass.
Yeah, that was the only park I found. That was like a
People
little
did
square.
were not happy about it either.
You
By
were
the sounds of it.
Lying
When you
on
were
the
on the
ground. Oh no, everyone was doing it there. But yeah, it's great pastries, shit coffee,
Really?
good weather, shit coffee.
Shit coffee
Yeah, they don't go in for it there so much.
in Paris.
You'd be surprised.
I thought that was. the
I'm
whole
sure
thing.
that, if you lived there, there would be places that were good. But like,
Uh-huh.
So not a patisserie Valerie or anything to go
can't
to?
move for. There is a lot of press actually.
Is there?
Yeah. But no patisserie Valerie that I could see. Where we spent many a day as a
Yeah.
young man, didn't we?
Very a lovely cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely
We
little
should do a
cafe.
patisserie Valerie.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Pret's like, because you go to London and it's like in every corner, and it's like the way it is kind of in Scotland in the north with Greggs. It's the southern Greggs.
It is.
Obviously, it's French. I think the most posh English thing you can be is French. So it's like, in a way, it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? I always think of Les Mis, even though I know they all speak English and that. But it's like, do you know, I think that's just like the only more pretentious you could get than like upper class Londoners. Just go to France. But no, so would you say, because it's like, because I've often thought about it, and would you say that, so like you were there obviously with Tamsin, nice wee weekend away, like would you say it's a good romantic getaway?
I would. Yeah, I would.
Mhm.
It was. Yeah. I mean, all the old, the Arc de Triomphe and all that. It's
Disneyland.
very Disneyland. I could go on. It is a very romantic place, I would say.
Nice.
Did you go to the Moulin Rouge?
I didn't, although we thought, well, our friend Connor knows a dancer at the Moulin Rouge, and he was
Oh.
talking about game about getting me tickets. But of course, as always with these things, it fell down.
Easier
Yeah.
said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always like, nah, they've been asking for too many comps, they've frozen it.
That's annoying.
You want to be the one that ruins the system for everyone else.
Yep.
Done
Yeah.
that myself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be turning up once they've closed the loophole,
Yeah, you want to be the reason.
rinsing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason why they change it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was a lovely weekend. I got mugged.
You
Did
got
you?
mugged
Got mugged
in Paris?
in Paris.
That's
What
not very
happened?
In
romantic.
LGBT Paris.
Talk
It was a
us
very
through it.
Dickensian mugging. It was old school.
Knife point.
No, it was just a guy. He was like, in hindsight, obviously pretend. He just looked like a drunk guy stumbling up the road, and then he was like, I was with Tamsin, obviously, and he was like, trying to like high five me or whatever, and like reluctantly he sort of went, or whatever, like in the way that you sort of humor a drunk annoying cunt.
Mm-hmm.
Were you walking home at this thing?
Yeah, we're literally like, it was like we're on the street, and
Other
I-
people about.
well, yeah, but not like heaps. But like, it was like quite late. But anyway, he just sort of spun me around and did this, like, he was like pretending to like do like a drunken jig kind of thing, and I didn't even notice. But he'd taken this watch. We unmugged me. He took the watch off, But I didn't realise because I was so sort of bamboozled. And Tamsin was like, "Hey, fucking give it that back." And then he looked at it and saw that it's not worth anything and just gave it back to me. So my gallant, my big strong wife saved me.
So
That's nice.
this guy done a jig, and
It
in
was
between the
so
jig, nicked your
Dickensian.
watch.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
like
yeah,
Mary
it was kind of
Poppins
like
shit
it was
or
kind of,
something.
it was just confusing if you're me, but you know, it's that kind of thing of like he's like
Which was his whole strategy,
exactly.
really. He's
It's,
trying to
I
bamboozle
was
you.
a textbook Mark.
And he wasn't actually drunk. You think he was at it?
I don't know. He wasn't like as drunk as he was pretending to be more drunk. He'd probably
Maybe,
come to the pub.
yeah, maybe he was like, used to be an actor, and then
Yeah.
he's just using his powers for evil.
It was a great performance, but rumbled by Tambo. To be honest, I think because I was with her, I wasn't expecting to get. You know what I mean?
Aye.
If I was on my own, I'd have had my guard up a bit more, I think. But you're just walking home with your girlfriend hand in hand. You're not really thinking about.
No.
Yeah. If anything, she's the target.
Yeah, I was like, get her. She's way weaker than me.
Throwing her under
I was
the
trying to
bus.
push her in front. She wasn't wearing a watch, sadly. But
Did you not feel it like at all?
well, I mean, I guess I must have, but it was happening so quick that I didn't really have time to.
Were
You were just a bit.
Were you
bamboozled.
drunk, Stu? What were you wearing?
Are you victim blaming her? I'd had a couple of drinks.
He's wearing the watch, that's what he's wearing.
Yeah. I was wearing a £40 vintage watch.
Just the watch, though. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
And the scud.
Because I've often wondered this, right? Like, if you did get mugged, because this is what you do worry about, like, whether you go to somewhere like Paris or London or New York, you often hear about people getting mugged, and I've fortunately never had it happen to me, but I do wonder, like, so you didn't lose anything, actually, in the end? They didn't take anything else off you?
No.
Just your dignity.
Just my dignity.
Yeah.
But that's not worth fuck all.
Less than a 40 quid vintage watch, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
But
If I want to lose my dignity, I'll take certain gigs and then take the cash.
But let's see if you did get mugged, right? Do they take everything they've got on you, like your phone and your wallet? Can you go? Like,
This was
"Mate,
a very
don't take my
watch
phone."
specific jig.
Yeah, can you just go, look,
Yeah.
mate? Here, you can have my wallet, or here's my cash. I'll take my phone, but don't take my wallet. I've got my passport or something like that. Do you think, like, how reasonable are these muggers being exactly? I would say, because like, see if they take your passport, you're fucked. You're stuck in the country. So surely, mate, let me hold on to this. I need to go home.
Yeah.
Or
if
like,
these people can be reasoned with.
but then the
These
phone is
monsters.
how good is the phone if you've got your whatever factor of authentication and all this kind of stuff? Do they just try and sell it
Yeah,
on?
I
or-
feel like the phone isn't as good as it used to be.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like basically if you got any cash on you,
You want
E-
the cards to tap
even the
around town.
card, you can
Yeah.
instantly just fucking they could tap it on it, but you can
Cancel it.
cancel it and
immediately.
get it back. But I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of a dying game, the old mugging.
It was refreshingly old school, the way
Yeah.
he did it, I have to say.
How old was the guy?
50s, maybe?
What did he
Really?
say when he gave you it back?
It's
He just
kinda-
went,
yeah, he did a French, guttural French sound.
Ooh la la!
I think he was annoyed that this lassie had rumbled him.
That's quite sad for the guy.
I'm sure he'll get someone else.
I wish it was a wee Rolex for the poor
Yeah.
guy.
I would have. Can you demonstrate the jig?
Not in an audio medium.
Were they just spinning
Well,
you
thankfully on Spotify we're now on video. So
I mean, not easily. But yeah, no, he was like, high five, and then it's kind of like, and like, like he was kind of like his leg was kind of on my leg. He was trying to
Yeah.
spin me around like that.
it's the sort of thing you would imagine would be in an Amdram production of Les Mis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that kind of like.
Yeah, it's
But-
like the prologue to Les Mis.
was Tamsin just watching him do this, and then or did she just notice that it was gone after?
I think she would. I think she was more like, because it wasn't
Something's
happening to
going
her.
on.
She was more like, yeah, like I'm keeping an eye on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because she was like, well, I've lived in big cities before, blah blah blah. And I was kind of like, yeah, but also like, I'm very used to drunk people coming up and fucking annoying me late at night.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the listeners.
Who are yet to steal from me.
Yet to steal.
Yeah.
Except from time, but no.
But
it's
maybe,
always
I don't
welcome.
know. When I see like a drunk guy stumbling up the street doing bits, that's like 10 a penny, isn't it? You're used
Oh,
to
aye,
saying
yes.
that. But
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
been mugged before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I always feel because I've always been so used to just avoiding things, and I've got like, as you have seen when we have been out, I have got zero.
I love
tolerance.
watching you deal with that.
But I just will sometimes just like I don't mind just like completely ignoring people and stuff like and just moving away.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be on the side of the road if somebody's stumbling down and I will just move or whatever, just anything to get away because I'm like, it's no worth the hassle or the
Yeah.
risk.
Well, I wasn't keen about it either, but he was a criminal. This man, he was very persistent.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, fair play.
I've not been.
You ever been mugged?
in
No.
Paris? No, as I say, I have
I
not.
hadn't until this week.
I don't
Not
think
that I
I've ever
recall, no.
actually been mugged myself.
No.
Maybe in the playground, steal your lunch money, something like that.
Uh,
Can you count that as a mugging?
It's kind of, the mugging of the playground.
It's the gateway to mugging, isn't it?
Is yeah.
it's kind of like
He
apprentice
flushed
mug.
my head down the toilet. Did I tell you that? This guy.
Stuffed you in a locker.
Yeah, gave me a fucking wedgie. That was the jig. He took my watches. He gave me a wedgie.
Yeah.
I actually did meet a listener recently that was at Darren Connell's show.
Uh-huh.
See Connell at the Kings. Very good, great show, really fun night.
2 standing O's.
Yeah,
Fair play.
standing up.
That's great.
And I was going into the bathroom before the show, and it was like a smaller bathroom. So there's like 2 urinals and then like a cubicle behind.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in the door. There's a guy in the cubicle and 2 guys in the urinal. So there's one guy waiting. So I'm like, oh, is this the queue? And then we get chatting, and it's like, he's a listener.
Aye.
Really nice guy. I don't know. He's like a little older than us, but I don't know what age he'd be. But we're just having a really, very polite, really mild-mannered, really nice guy.
Uh-huh.
And we're just having a chat. And then someone leaves one of the urinals. So I point behind him. I'm like, oh, you're up. And he's like, no, I'm waiting to be sick.
Waiting to be sick.
And I think
You never let us down. You never let us down.
I think
I love
I've
that.
misheard this man, is what I think. So I'm like, right, whatever. So I go for a piss. I'm having a piss. Then the cubicle unlocks. This lovely gentleman that I've just been talking to, who, by the way, was really sound, really polite, lovely guy, just goes in the toilet and just starts violently being sick. Just like so loudly and violently being sick. And I'm, dick out having a piss. I'm like, you're right in there. Like, shouting, like, you're right. And he's like, I'm through trying to say, yeah, I just had
Stupid question at that point, still not going to lie.
Well, I just so unusual.
Of course he's not fucking alright.
He's like, yeah, I just had too much steak. I done too many beers. But I just couldn't fucking believe how, like, if I need to be sick, that is a fucking emergency.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not in
I'm
a
going in
queue.
the bin in the lobby.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sort of fight or flight thing. Like, no, you're about to go on stage and you kind of like, even if you're not feeling good, you can just kind of get through it.
Yeah.
Maybe just the
Dr.
sight
Showbiz.
maybe the sight of you. It's like, I'm about to, oh, hang on, that's stupid, somewhere.
It's like, thinking back now, it's just like, he was so composed, but like, his eyes were kind of watering. Yeah. Love the pod. I couldn't fucking believe it. But I thought I'd misheard him, and then I was like, surely he's not going to be sick. And it's just like, like
Wow.
fucking Team America.
Amazing.
Amazing.
That
Very
is
funny.
fucking-
Sorry, I forgot your name, but nice to meet you.
That's
Great
fine.
guy.
I met a listener actually at the gym, and so I got pure awkward because I was on the treadmill and he was like, "Oh, I'm listening to you right now," and I was like, "All right." I didn't know what to say, so I was just like, "So sorry."
Let me ask you a question. Walking or running, was he?
I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe I don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah, I can't imagine we're like.
I think he must have been walking.
Yeah, because we can't be motivating somebody to be fucking.
I
powering
ran
up.
past someone once. I was on a run, and they were on a run, and they were listening to this, and they showed me it
That's
in
amazing.
passing.
It's like
Yeah.
Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he double took and I noticed it, and then he was like, "That's weird," and he was pointing to it, and I was like, "Oh yeah," I didn't know what to say. So apologies if I seemed like a dick.
I know. Sometimes you don't. No, well, a guy recognised me in the petrol station last night and just went, "Are you a comedian?" And I'm like, "Aye," but I was like so tired, and I just said, "What?" I
Of course,
kind
I'm a
of
comedian at fucking Heart Hill Services at midnight on
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Wednesday. in a
To be
pork
fair,
pie.
this is my local one. But also, there was a guy stopped me on the train station on the way down south last week, and it was like I just came out of W.H. Smith. She's like, "What doing?" And I'm like, "Hi," but he was like,
I love that all your fans sound like that.
"No," but this guy apparently does stand up,
Uh-huh.
and then this is what he said to me. He goes, "Can you add me on Instagram?" That was what he said to me, and I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, it's
And
not a good
hustling.
sign.
Aye, and then I was, and he said, and to his credit, I would say, he said, "I do stand up, but I'm shy." Which
too,
I've always
buddy.
like, I'm like, don't say that, but like, no,
We literally had a show called When They Were Shy,
that's true because
Yeah.
we had the self awareness to know that we were shy at that time.
and he's got the self awareness.
There you go.
Fair play.
Well, I was going to say the end of that sentence was, but we knew it'd be good one day.
Well, he
Let's
may
see
be,
what happens to this guy. Anyway,
he might be good one day.
you never know.
all
Like-
it takes is fucking doing it for like 12 years
Yeah.
without stopping.
You
That's all
shout
you
for
need to do.
youngs, that is it.
This is very true.
Getting you to add them on Instagram's like, you know, when you see like a Q&A with Steven Spielberg and there's like a guy in the audience and he's like, can I give him a script?
Yeah,
And he runs up and that's like the shittest version of that. is
absolutely.
Getting you to
But he
add them
only
on
had
Instagram.
one
Add me on
reel,
Instagram.
and it looked as though he'd done it like just before he met me.
He recorded it. He
planned
saw you
It's like on
recorded
the train.
it.
aye. It's obviously always very nice to meet listeners and all of the rest of it. And in fact, I don't want to get too much into this because I think it's probably boring chat for people. But there's a very nice listener of ours that came to my Bristol show. And I'm not going to specify because I don't want to get him in trouble, but owns a glasses place. And he offered me free glasses. Again, the second time we've been offered free
can't move
glasses.
for
I
free
wish I
glasses.
was shite at seeing things.
I
man.
know. Well, you know, and he took me along, and we had a lovely day. Showed me around. It was brilliant, and amazing. Gave me an eye test, everything, and
A free eye test.
it was great, and he was really sound. Met his partner and his family and all that, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe my luck, but he just said there's a thank you for the pod. So
Lovely.
shout out to him as well.
That's
What are
lovely.
me and Steve getting out of this though? That's what
I
I'm going
know.
to ask.
Well,
What can you offer us?
We could get eye
guys?
tests. And
Well,
hope
if
we
you
fail,
go
I
down
guess.
that way, well, do you know he found the pod because of your video, Steve, as well. So he was originally a Stephen Buchanan.
You're
fan.
welcome, Jennings.
Yeah, well,
that
thanks.
eye
Siphon them off.
test is on
That's a
me.
good thing, well, you know. But yeah, so I've got some new glasses coming in the post very soon, and I'm looking forward to them.
That's beautiful. Does it do sunglasses?
Yeah, I've got a pair of glasses and sunglasses.
Jesus
Well, we all need
fucking
sunglasses.
Christ! I mean, you know
Well-
that those sunglasses are at least mine, probably.
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe you go down to Bristol and then we'll see about this.
Can't be arsed. I've been to Bristol to go to Cardiff.
Yeah, that's mainly when I've been there before, but it's actually
It's nice, isn't
it's,
it,
it's
Bristol?
beautiful. I wish I had been able to spend a bit more time there. It was.
It's where Skins was set. Innit?
This is it. I've thought in the past, right, that Bristol is a kind of place where they basically don't let Scottish people know about, or Scottish people don't really know about Bristol, because it's like,
Why?
see when
Because
you're,
you don't know.
yeah, because I don't know. That's what I think.
You
I'm
always think you
projecting
speak
that.
for the whole nation.
Yeah, but I do think that there's an element of truth to that because, see, when you're down south in London or whatever, so many people talk about Bristol. I went to uni in Bristol, and it's like this thing that just
There's a big acting school in Bristol, I think, isn't there?
there's a lot of like it's a sort of place that people go a lot. I had never heard MD for Scotland that said they'd been to Bristol.
We go to Newcastle or Liverpool. Or
Aye,
something.
that's like yeah, that's almost our equivalent is to go to or going to fucking Edinburgh for the day. It's
Yeah.
like the big, you know what I mean, St Andrews or some shit. I don't know, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'm trying to get into the mind of a small-minded west of Scotland person.
No, all of us are holding fancy down in bloody Paris
Paris
every week.
for
So-
4 days.
But I do
Mad.
sort of feel that like it's kind of it's such an if you've not really been down south a lot because Bristol's this kind of trendy hipstery city and you just don't know that it's even there. I wouldn't ever contemplate going, even though it's like it's a school.
When
But,
I went through it, got the flight there and went to Cardiff, and it looked nice. But
That was
I've
nice.
never actually been. But
Aye.
Cardiff's nice as well.
I'd been the only time I'd been before was to do a gig for that's now defunct, and it was in a sort of it was in this kind of weird nightclub, and to the right hand side there was like
You've told us about
Oh,
that.
yeah,
yeah,
it was the
the
comedy, and to the left there was like a
Endo
strippers, and it was so all the stag do's were at the fucking comedy, and all the the hen do's were at the strippers, and there was like a wee. Well, I don't know what the politically correct term for this is these days, but like I don't know what. But
I don't
He's
even know what this
floundering.
is.
it was a very small stripper, is what I'm going to say. Height wise,
Right.
vertically challenged, shall we
It was
say?
a little person.
Yes,
A little person.
and it was and he was. But I tell you what,
Oh, the guy. It was a guy.
yeah, but those the Hindus were loving it. Yeah, it was a male strippers. I should have said. Yeah, kind of a magic might, but not so magic, really. A bit on magic might.
Just let him dig.
Yeah, he was doing a similar jig to the guy that robbed you in Paris. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, good time, man. What you been up to, Steve?
I was in London at the weekend.
Oh, aye, this was your own way romantic getaway, was it?
Yeah, no
Wow.
romance was had.
Yeah, I said that in the car, and he was like, "Yeah, you're in Paris." I went, yeah. Oh, nice, we romantic getaway. I was like, "What were you up to?" He was like, "I was in London." Oh, nice, were you on a wee romantic getaway? He was like, "No." I was like, "Was Catherine with you though?" Aye.
Listen,
Married life.
what I meant was, London isn't really a romantic city, is it?
Well, here's the thing. When you told me that you were going, I was slightly surprised because, to me, because we need to go to London so much for work, that does not seem that much fun to get the train into London just to be there.
No, but it's well, yeah, I know what you mean, but it's just a wee weekend away where you eat, drink,
Right.
go and see some shows.
Well, I would argue it can be romantic in that environment, depending on who you're with.
Yeah,
You
did
know?
you not shag someone in a Pizza Express or something like that?
I've had a lot of very romantic moments in London, I will tell you that much.
I
You
don't know
know?
if you can say that's romance.
I've
though.
romanced a if you use it as an adjective or what the fuck. But yeah, so what did you get up to then?
Went to see a couple of shows.
What?
Hamilton and the Mean Girls.
Right.
Different ends of the spectrum.
Who's
Both good.
I can imagine your pick was Hamilton, was it?
My mum bought us tickets for Hamilton for Christmas or something like that.
Mhm.
So that's why we went to London to go to that. And then the night before, Martin Quinn, friend of the pod, his girlfriend Amy is in.
Oh,
Mean
she in Mean Girls?
Yeah.
I've seen that. I did actually see an advert on the tube for that the other day when I was
You were
in
done.
London. Just the other day.
So
But-
she's in it.
Oh, I
So
did
we
not
went.
know that.
So we went. I will go and see that as well.
Nice.
Both were good. Good laugh.
Had you seen Hamilton before?
Nah.
No.
Have you?
No, I should go and see it probably.
Very impressive. Very.
Aye. Well, you obviously both of us are fans of rap.
Aye, and it's like technically really good, like the rap, but also it is theatre as well. So it's
Kind of cringe.
it's for white people. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It feels like, but like the flow and all that's great, and it's a history lesson as well. I didn't know about Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers
Yeah.
of America.
I don't know that much about it either, but I do believe that there's some dubious elements to the telling of Hamilton. A bit of artistic license has been used. I
Such
believe.
as he's actually white.
Right, is he not in the thing? I know, was it Lin-Manuel Miranda that played him in the original cast?
I believe so. He wrote it. I believe he played it. But the whole point is it's a mostly non-white cast.
Right.
I think there's one white guy who plays King George.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was more just meaning the events that they portray and like what Hamilton was actually like and all the rest of it. But I guess for the story, you need to bend a few things, don't you?
What have you heard?
I don't know, but I think that he was the way he's portrayed in the way the other people who's in it, George Washington and shit like this, probably.
Yeah.
I think it's just it happened in a different way. All this, what is it today? Was it about the fucking Declaration of Independence, or is it about?
Yeah, it's about like a civil. No, not a civil war. The independence
Aye.
from Britain,
Yeah.
and then he was like an orphaned wee guy who came along and done all this cool stuff.
That's direct text
Wow.
from the play.
If you can read that on Steve's letterboxd, he's a wee orphan who came along and done some cool stuff.
It's on the poster.
Well, wee orphaned guy.
Steve, you can in brackets W.H. Smith guy.
He's just a wee orphan cunt. Came along, became like founded the. I don't know. Became like the.
This is like what's the script?
You've
seen it.
I was
Yeah, but
gonna
you've
say.
seen it.
I was gonna say he like founded the banking system in America. I'm not sure if that's entirely true, but something to do with
But
finances.
I think that because in America now, and like here we have the Bank of England, and that's like the big king. The reason that the Bank of America is just a chain of bank there, whereas it's the Federal Reserve is their version of the Bank of England, and it's because of Alexander Hamilton, I believe.
Well, there you go. He was like the treasurer,
Yeah.
one of the first people in the. He was a founding father, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
He was a father who
Say no
founded
more.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Helped. He fought in the war.
Yeah.
You
Through
know.
the medium of rap.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Rapid
Back
He
Yeah,
was
people.
dropping bombs in a different way.
truth bombs. And he done all this stuff, and then he got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Have you?
Pretty sad.
All right, so you ruined it for everybody at the end there, but
Well, I didn't ruin history, did I?
well, no.
Wikipedia.
No, that was Alexander Hamilton, I believe, or whoever. I don't know. Probably one of the other ones.
Well, because the first song in the thing is him going like, this guy bar. He's like, I'm the damn fool who shot him. So immediately at the start of the play, you know that this is where it's going.
Pops in him.
He's getting a cap pop. He's like Biggie in that
Yeah,
respect.
yeah. Well, and he's got similar flow.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah,
Did they?
more Biggie than Tupac.
And have you been listening to the songs on Spotify since?
I've listened to a couple.
Yeah, because
Listen to a couple.
that's usually because I done that with whenever after I seen Book of Mormon, I just like played the tunes for ages after because you've seen you know the story now, and then you get right into a few of them.
Aye, I don't want to become a musical theatre guy though.
That's
I
a
think that'd be
gateway drug.
lovely pivot.
Yeah.
Gateway drug to what?
Well, that's where these ones like Hamilton and Book of Mormon, they're
Aye,
kind of
aye.
they get you in.
For the guys.
They're for
For the
like
boys.
the general public, and then who've got no clue about this genre, including myself, and then you'd get in, and then suddenly go, actually having new cues, great, and all this kind of stuff.
Having your cue is good.
Well, there you go.
That was also
Slippery
the-
slope.
That's also the same guy
Yes.
who wrote Book of
Book of
Mormon.
Mormon.
so.
Yeah.
But I
Just-
would say this is I think the kids call it toxic trait. I was sitting there thinking I could do this. I could write this.
Hamilton.
If I knew about history.
You've nailed the story straight away. Add a couple of tunes in and you're
That's
golden.
quite that's the
Not,
caveat.
I
If you knew
couldn't
about
write
history.
Hamilton because I didn't know enough about American history. But
If
I
you
don't know
picked a
about
historical figure you know a lot about. One of the Greek boys.
You could write
yeah, I
rap
could write a Greek.
about fucking Nicola Sturgeon's husband or whatever.
Yeah, I could
You
write.
know someone's writing that right now for like play a pound a pound.
Oh, aye. That's 100% happening, aye. It's going to be starring fucking that lassie that you just worked with. The one that was Sturgeon in fucking that thing.
And I'll
If she's
repeat
not
it.
in a one-person play about Sturgeon, I'll be shocked at some point.
She's good at what she does.
Retrospective.
She's
It's
good
like
at
when Des McLean played Tommy Sheridan.
But I was just sitting there thinking I could write a musical.
Really? Well, you obviously
Yeah.
do write music. So do you think...
Easy.
Because it
Easy
is...
peasy.
Like, obviously, if you write right, so if a musical is full of... How many songs do you reckon? Half a dozen to a dozen songs in a musical, would you say?
Oh, a lot more than that.
A lot more than that?
A lot more than that.
'Cause-
Musically, I couldn't write it.
Oh, you outsource that, don't you?
Yeah.
You got
Right,
someone
well,
in
this
the
is
case.
a big caveat already.
Choreography, I couldn't do.
Right. Just saying you can't write a musical.
I can write the story.
Well, how much is the Lin-Manuel Miranda? Is he doing the choreography? Probably
I don't
not.
think he does the
Probably
choreography.
not.
I thought
But-
he was a bit of an auteur that done it all. I would assume the way people talk about him. And
I'm happy
Maybe.
to call him a fraud based on no information.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't seen none of his work.
I just don't like him.
I don't like his
I like
ponytail.
him.
He's
Is that
annoying.
just in the show he's got a ponytail? I think.
I think so.
People got annoyed at him because he done that one in the Heights or whatever about where he's fain, and it was too white a cast as well. People got annoyed at him for that, didn't they?
Aye.
But
I actually first found out about him through a College Humor video.
did you?
Yeah.
Which is what?
It was like a rap battle College Humor video.
Mm.
And he comes in and does a rap battle, and I was like, oh. When Hamilton came out, I was like, that's the guy from College Humor.
Is Will Ferrell going to be in this?
Little known fact: college humour is actually the gateway drug towards musical theatre.
Yes.
He once actually talked about like Bristol and Cardiff because I've told this story before as well. But there's a place, it's now moved, but it was called Porter's in Cardiff, and he was doing a film there, and they used to do this thing called Bandioke, which I done. Don't look back in anger at, with a full band
yeah.
behind me, and but he used to go in and do karaoke in it. Apparently,
Lynn.
imagine fucking.
So he went to Cardiff.
I think he was just there. I thought he went to the uni, but he didn't. I think he was just filming something in Cardiff one time and went along. But yeah, there you go.
There you go. I quite like him. I like the
Nah,
guy.
I'm only waiting. I don't really know enough about him.
Nah,
I just
neither
think
do
it's
I.
funny. I think he's
Think he
annoying.
done
He
I
does
think he's
seem
maybe
annoying.
quite cringe, is he not?
Yeah. But is there a lot in the stuff? How did they deal with the whole slavery aspect in it in terms of they're putting this together, all men are equal and they're neglecting a whole.
Brushed over that.
Do they really? I thought that was a big part of it. No.
Nah, there was like nods to, because it's like an all non-white cast, they were saying like, oh,
It's an all non-white cast.
apart from maybe one or two. people,
I see. Okay.
but like they were saying, oh, it takes like an immigrant to get the job done, essentially.
So
So
what
they're-
in it? They're meant to be fucking Irish or something, probably.
No, I think they were meant to be like from the Caribbean and stuff,
Oh.
different places. Maybe some Irish, I don't know.
Mhm.
But like, there was, I don't remember it really being talking about slavery.
What about Mean Girls? Did they talk about it in that?
A lot, a lot. I was quite taken aback. I was like,
Yeah.
it's very
Seems like
slavery
it's not
heavy.
the vehicle.
These girls are really mean.
But and its own
Pay them a
right,
bloody wage. No.
and Mean Girls in its own right had some stuff to say.
Do you? I've never actually seen the film, which is a bit of a toxic trait of mine. I should have definitely seen it by now.
It's a good film.
Yeah, no, it's.
I like it. Tina Fey.
And
Go on.
what kind of stuff did it have to say in Mean Girls?
Well, it's just about the sort of hierarchy of high school in it.
Yeah, I guess so.
The different groups. Being yourself.
Did you think you could write this?
Aye. I was
Sounds
sitting there
harder the way you're saying it.
Yeah. So what do you mean there? So let's go back to this. So what do you mean?
Well-
Right, so you couldn't do the choreography, you couldn't do the,
Nah.
you wouldn't
Couldn't
be
do
able
I
to.
think you get
songs.
help with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Write the story,
But
come up with some lyrics.
Yeah, I'd
You know
get
what I mean?
help with the story as well.
Yeah. Oh, it'd help.
So you think you could write a musical with enough help?
Listen, so this is the key this is the main difference between Mean Girls and Hamilton, alright? Hamilton is all song, so every song is sort of like Les Mis.
Unbearable.
Song, no speaking. Mean Girls, bit of dialogue, song, bit of story, song. I could do that.
Is there a lot of songs in the actual film now?
Nay songs.
Nay
as far as
songs.
I
No
remember.
songs in the film.
Okay.
Although there was a Mean Girls, I don't know if it was a sequel or a prequel, something like that, a new remake.
Aye.
Well,
And
they're
I
not
think-
very mean.
Well, I think they were still mean, but I think there was songs in that one.
I'm not talking. That's no canon in my opinion.
Nah. Same.
Anyway, so right, difference
So
is
Hamilton, I couldn't do that in terms of just write a whole musical and it's all song. I probably could actually, to be fair.
You're doing
mate.
yourself a disservice there, son.
I think I could write the lyrics, but I couldn't do the good
it's
music.
funny because this started with you saying you literally could do this.
I was sitting there thinking with a couple of pints in me, I could do this. That's my toxic trait. I was thinking this is
It's called believing in yourself, and it's not
Yeah.
a crime.
yeah.
It's like
not
when
a
you
crime.
went to Red Raw and you said, I could do that.
And look at me now.
I could do stand
They're
up.
dying on their ass up there. They're not-
I could see that in your future. I could see you being able to write because you would write all the music for what's the script. You've got
I
a
can do
musical
jingles.
background. You can do jingles.
Maybe I could do the first jingle.
First
musical.
garage band musical.
What,
Yeah.
yeah. What is a musical if not just a succession of jingles?
Yeah, that's profound.
Profound the shit out of it.
Guy who's only had a Bristol recently.
Opening night in Bristol. It's the Jingle musical.
Could do jingle all the
Ceramic
way the
towel
musical.
warehouse.
That might work.
Jingle all the way to Bristol,
Yeah.
perhaps.
There we go.
I would honestly love to see Jingle all the way the musical. As I've mentioned many
Let's
times
write
this
it.
podcast, my favourite Christmas film. Yeah.
Let's fucking write them.
Get
Worth doing
Patrick
just-
Schwarzenegger to star in it.
Also, there's a kind of thing that they do in musicals these days where they just have songs that already exist, and like Mamma Mia, for instance, or
Is that a
Rock of
jukebox
Ages.
musical? Is that what you
Yeah,
call that?
I could do
Is it?
that. Now that's a fucking thing I
That's
could
a
do.
fucking doddle.
That's a total.
Aye.
Give me Meatloaf songs and I'll write you a shite fucking story around it.
But I
I could do
see,
that
because
tomorrow.
you're
Easy
just having to
peasy.
shoehorn a story in around the
Yeah,
around the songs. Is that what they done with Mamma Mia, basically?
yeah,
Aye.
big time.
Yeah.
I could write Mamma Mia in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So,
Sadly, it's been done.
so you think that Mean Girls, would that be easier to write than?
Yeah, but not to take away credit because they were good. It was good.
Mhm.
The actors were good. The songs were good. Story was just the story
Room
of
for
the film.
improvement.
No, the story of the film was good, but that was already there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you
What have you done, really?
what are you writing?
Did they see when
Dialogue?
they say like the lines? What is it when in Thursdays we wear pink and all this shit? Is it
Wednesdays?
see when they say that and see when they say that? Are people like pure yes? And
There
the
was a wee
theatre?
bit of that, not as much as I thought there was going to be.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there was a wee
The
bit.
sycophants were not out in force.
There was a cheer at certain lines like that, like
Is Catherine doing that?
No, because she doesn't. She's not a huge fan of the film.
Okay.
Well, she likes it, but she's not.
Sure.
She doesn't really know the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was you go, Glen Coco, that sort of line. People like woo.
Aye.
But that's fuck.
Is what it is.
Let them enjoy
Yeah.
themselves.
I think Peter Kay's got a hard time when cunts are shouting these punchlines at him. Fucking.
Would you
Mean
get
Girls
chucked out
and-
for shouting garlic bread 8 times during Mean Girls?
It's funny you talk about Mean Girls and like that kind of like because obviously it was of its time and like it's about high school stuff. Because I was actually watching a few episodes of Aziz Ansari's Master of None, which I'd never got round to watching at the time. I was always kind of one of the ones I was like I should kind of watch this because it's like at the time it was quite well received and it's comedy. It sort of felt like homework, and then he got kind of semi-cancelled and I thought, maybe I don't need to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
Same with his book actually, but I watched it and like it was alright, but I did feel it was very noughties.
Of its
It was
time.
very of its
I
time.
thought it was a bit boring.
I kind of was
It is
feeling it was
boring.
boring, but I was like, I might have liked this a lot more at the time.
If you'd have watched it when you were like 24 or something,
Yeah, exactly.
Because
yeah,
was
yeah.
it in black and white? Am I making that up?
I think some of it
I think there
yeah.
was maybe not the episodes I've seen, but probably
It was pretentious as hell.
and they go to
it felt
Italy and
like
all that.
Louis and the
Well, that was what I was thinking. It was like because Louis was the big thing at
Which
that
also
time.
got cancelled before I probably watched it.
Yeah,
thanks.
but
I was saved from that one as well.
yeah. So I think it was kind of like Aziz's version of making Louis like kind of sort of artsy sort of thing.
Because I think it's easy to slag like producers and stuff like that, and you go, oh, they get their hat, they ruin your sort of artistic vision. But then,
Someone should have given him some more
yeah,
notes.
because when
Maybe
people
don't do it in black and white. Like,
Yeah,
when people just get to do whatever the fuck they want, that's also pretty shit.
I sort of feel in a way like I mean I agree completely. And there's some stuff you go, yeah, like somebody should.
someone should have stopped this.
Yeah, but in a way, maybe it would be better if everything was just a bit more like just go and do what you want, and maybe there's a bit more
Just a
help.
wee steer, even just
Yeah,
be like,
there's maybe more help, but I think it seems like either you get noted to death or you're just allowed to do whatever the fuck you
No one
want,
said
and there's
no to
no
you.
kind of
Yeah.
happy medium.
yeah, that would be it'd be nice if there was a balance.
You
Yeah,
guys think you could do Master of None the musical?
Oh, easy,
The musical.
easy peasy. It'd be good to
The
try
song's
and
about pasta.
I do think I could do my own Master of None.
yeah.
Well, yeah, there's not much to it.
Just
Yeah,
no structure to the episode.
yeah,
Not even that funny.
yeah, exactly. I could do that.
Easy.
Yeah,
Like I think if we could figure out a way to do a musical in black and white, then we're talking.
Some Laugh the Musical.
That would be good.
Has that been done? A live show in black and white, so everyone's got kind of.
Well, that's a
Face
good
paint on
that's a
and
good
stuff.
excuse for me to finally use the cherry picker. That could be my big entrance.
I think there must be some sort of screen you could get that just filters it into black and
You
white.
got to ask what you're gaining.
Yeah, you're just
Purely
yeah,
gimmick.
yeah, just be, that would be quite
What's
boring.
come under the boil? And then it's like the fire truck comes in and stuff.
Would that be the big song? Is that the big?
That'd be one of them.
We started. Yeah,
reprise?
it's like it's on fire. The set is on fire.
Yeah, I've burnt the bacon. Nino, the
Grado flies in on a rope.
Credo is the fireman.
What's come under the boil? Would it be quite a campy one?
think so.
Could
I
be.
think that's fun.
Well, you're
isn't it?
the
I think
musical director of this, so
I reckon we have a bit of that. You got to have a wee bit of that.
it'll be fun.
How confused do you think people would be if we were saying they were doing a Some Laugh musical and we've managed to get Lin-Manuel Miranda to, to write and produce it?
I think it would be more surprising given that he's unlikely to ever come on as a guest.
Yeah.
in the
It's
pod.
going to be on Cardiff Glee.
Yeah, double up. We'll do the recording this Saturday afternoon when we're kicking about the city.
What do you think? See if it was a musical, right? What do you think the story out of all the stories we've told
Of this
throughout
pod?
the-
Well, this is
the
like
pod,
a jukebox musical, isn't it? Where it's like you just do the.
Do you
Yeah.
think?
Kissing
Do the
arses and
hits,
everything.
kissing arse.
Yeah. Would kissing arses be the inciting incident, or would that be the big finale?
Nah, I think it would
You don't want
maybe-
to see that.
No, it would be also hard because we need to have child actors playing me.
Get cancelled the first night.
But, fuck's sake. So I don't know. Maybe it's a dream sequence and it's just me as a wee boy. Put a school tie on it. But
Have you
Aye.
seen Strangelove?
No.
The music.
Oh no, I have seen it actually.
Dave Coogan.
I've seen the
Yeah.
Coogan. Have you
Is
seen
good?
it?
No. I've seen clips. It kind of looks all right.
It was Coogan's great in it. It was alright. Like I actually had seen the film years ago and I can't really remember it. So I think they were actually more close to the film than I remembered the film being. But I was a bit like, why? Who is this guy? And like, why is all this happening? But Coogan's great and he plays about fucking 6 different characters, and it was really cool. I got a seat right down the front when I was there. I think I went to see a matinee show, and the only problem was there's a big table in it when they're like round the mad table fucking for the nuclear codes and all that, and Coogan's at the other side of it, so there was actually some bits where I couldn't see him.
Right.
But like when he's Strangelove, he's like on the wheelchair and like going in front of he actually looked directly at me at one point, and I was like, that was a pretty cool moment. And
They wink at you.
and I was waiting for him to do it at the bow at the end, but I was like, he probably doesn't want to make me feel uncomfortable, Like, I'm just like another guy. But no, he's good at it. But it was fine. But because when I was in London the other days, there was ads. You might have seen him in off. Like Coogan's in some other mad thing. I don't know whether
Penguins
it's a some mad. And I'm just
Oh,
like
that film. Yeah. What's
I
he saying?
sort of just like, why are you trying to be this shitty actor, man? Just like you're a fucking comedy legend, like.
Just do Alan
Just-
Partridge for the rest of your life.
Well, and he does do enough of it that you're like, fair enough, but I don't know. I guess he will probably just wants to win a fucking Oscar or something like that. But like,
You're not going to date Fanny around with penguins.
no, you aren't. But it's I don't know. I'm like, man, you don't need to be doing this. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe he enjoys
I'm
it.
interested in that movie. Though. I remember seeing the trailer like 6 months ago. I'd be like, what the fuck?
What is it? All I've seen is the poster, and he's got a penguin.
He's got like a little penguin as a mate.
Is it a kids' film or something?
I don't know. I
A
guess
comedy?
It's like a
I
family
thought I
film.
assumed it
Maybe-
would be like some other Philomena type thing.
What, with penguins?
Aye.
The penguin isn't a journalist.
I thought it could have been about fucking global warming or some shit for all I know.
It probably is.
Yeah, there's
Aye.
subtext, I would imagine. Maybe it's like, what's that fucking guy
Ammo.
with... what's the guy with Hitler's his wee pal? What's that?
Fucking Jojo Rabbit. I
Maybe it's like that.
fucking hated that. The only guy who's more annoying than Lin-Manuel Miranda is that cunt. What's his
Taika
name?
Waititi.
Oh, fucking hate that guy
is
so
annoying,
much. Oh, that film was pish, man. Like,
I quite liked it at the time.
I hated, not actually dissimilar to when I was watching Master and None the other day, and Aziz's like, oh my god, you never tried that juice? Wait and have this. Like, while he's like, trying to buy like the morning after pill or whatever.
I
And it's like,
shut the
let's-
fuck up.
yeah, he's just annoying as fuck. And see like that thing where like, I know, like, I get what they're trying to do. Oh my god, this guy's Jewish and he's playing Hitler. That's like dancing on his grave or whatever. But you're like, yeah, but it's just not fucking funny. It was just like pure
Really
out of
annoying.
place and shit. Like quirky mad New Zealand humour. I've never seen that fucking What We Do in the Shadows or whatever. So maybe
I never
I'm
liked that one, which everyone's like, oh, that's the everything.
Yeah,
You love that.
but I
don't
just
mind that.
thought it was so pure. I don't know, just forced, and like the comedy was the worst bit of Jojo Rabbit. And then the ending was quite nice, and it's like a nice wee message at the end, obviously when they win the war and whatever. But I fucking hated Jojo Rabbit. I know, but it was mainly the attempts at comedy annoyed me. If it just been like a straight drama, it'd have been better. Stephen Merchant was alright, I don't know. He was quite good. But
The wee guy was quite good on it as well.
anyway,
Oh,
what you,
yeah.
so that was, you think the Penguin thing could be similar to that?
Maybe.
I bloody
maybe.
hope no, given my review of that.
But it's a good show. Might be about global warming.
I reckon there'll be a little subtext.
Aye.
Yeah.
Coogan's no doing something about penguins and no shoehorning in some of his liberal beliefs. Snowflake.
He's loony left.
yeah. No, I love. I like Coogan.
Did you see him on that subway text thing?
No, I seen a clip. I've not watched it yet. But he's becoming like he could play Corbyn, I think. And I think
Aye, I could see that.
his hair's looking a wee bit more like Corbyn these days.
It's called The Penguin Lessons.
Well, lessons.
Would you like to see a one sentence overview?
Please
I can see
do.
what it's got on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep. Not bad. 84%.
Oh, is it 8%?
Oh my god.
No, 84.
What does it
With
say?
an audience
Have-
score of 94.
Have we got a summary?
Yes.
Egg on my face when he wins the Oscar. Best supporting actor, that fucking daft penguin.
An Englishman experiences personal and political changes after adopting a penguin during a turbulent time in Argentina's history.
So it's meant to be when all the Nazis went to Argentina. Is that what it is? I
Well,
wonder if it's set then.
I don't think
I
that's
don't know. It seems a bit more modern.
Well, when's a turbulent time in Argentina's history except for that? Or that time when
the World Cup.
Messi wasn't getting a
Yeah.
game or whatever?
So, see, you're talking about how, on podcasts you can't just go on your phone for ages.
We've just done it.
Yeah, there
That
you
bell
go.
be getting cut.
That's called that's research.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's called producing.
Well,
Self-produced.
I have also been on my travels a wee bit, and
So were we in London at the same time?
no, I was only there on the Monday. So unless I don't know when you were there.
We came
Phil.
back on a Sunday.
Right, yeah. So no. But I did go down. I went down. I was in a few places, but on the way down, I stopped off in Liverpool. Right now, I did not know that the fucking Grand National was on that weekend. So the day I went down was the first day of the races at Aintree, which is just outside Liverpool, which I kind of vaguely remembered. Because that's how pure couldn't get a hotel and stuff. I go to my hotel and I got an early check-in, right? 11 o'clock check-in, as opposed to 3. Get to the hotel and they're like, there's no rooms. And I'm like, I've got an early check-in. And it says, yeah, but the Everton Liverpool game was on the night before, and then everybody was there in town for fucking the races. So, like, I paid for an early check-in and don't have it. So it's a bit of a scam, the early check-in thing, because you're buying it on the assumption that the rooms will be available.
Well, they shouldn't be able to sell it to you then.
Yeah, but if not enough people have left their room, then they can't fucking do it. So I just had to go and sit in a coffee shop. Thankfully, I had prepared for this because I was worried that my train might be late anyway. So I got ready before I went, and then I just sat about. But I was like, I don't think it was weird that you could sell that, under false pretenses, really. But I just got a refund. It was fine. But what was weird though, see, because like when I was getting into Liverpool, like I seen a few wee boys with suits on, and I'm like, there's no way they're not going to court. And then it was like a fucking Thursday in like the middle of the day, and they were all in their 20s, and I started seeing more and more people with suits, and I remembered that the Grand National was on, and it was so weird because it was like 10, 11 in the morning. Every pub is just like hundreds of guys all wearing suits, drinking pints, and
Scary.
aye, well, it was more just like, that way, like when you're in a certain location that there's a big thing going on and you're not there for that purpose. It's kind of like the way I felt about, see, whenever you were in school and you get the bus back and you'd see adults on the bus as you were all fanning about and carrying on in the bus, and I'd always look at them and go, why are you on this bus? That must be your worst nightmare. And it is your worst nightmare when you're now the adult on it.
Yeah.
But like that, yeah, being the adult on the school bus home, like that feeling in any environment when it's like, yeah, say there's a big fucking concert, a football game or something, you're just there to do a gig, you always just are like, oh, like,
Yeah.
I want to get away for this crowd as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
I'm not one of these people.
Aye, well that was very much the feeling in the town.
What were you gigging?
Aye, so
was it?
on the way down to Cardiff, stopped off.
Solo show?
No, just doing a spot and to punt my solo show as well. But no, it was good. Had a good wee week of
Doing
gigging and
Cardiff Glee.
stuff. Cardiff Glee was
How
good.
was that?
Aye, good. I was hosting. Nice.
Sometimes it can be a bit more rowdy, Cardiff.
It was actually, it was fine. The Friday was a wee bit quiet to start with, and then it picked up. Saturday was good. So no, it was. In fact, they were actually saying, I think on Saturday they were because there was like loads of big groups in, and they were expecting it to be a kick off, and it was actually totally fine. So no, it was good fun, nice people on, and then then it was good weather, so I went a wee wander down the bay,
Cardiff Bay.
It was
It's
it's
not,
nice.
it's not a Welsh accent.
It's not a Welsh
I've never been to Wales, bizarrely.
Never
been.
Well, if it
No,
wasn't
it's
for
not sure I'll go soon.
the Cardiff Glee, I don't think I'd have ever been.
Yeah, I've just weirdly never done it.
It's a nice city.
That is nice. I do like it there, to be fair. Yeah, staying in a nicer hotel than they used to put you in. It's Premier Inn these days. So I stayed in 4 Premier Inns in 5 days.
Luxury.
I am going for the new Lenny Henry spot. I'm telling you that right now.
Could be doing worse than a Premier Inn, let me tell
I
you.
don't mind the Premier Inn.
Yeah. Comfortable sleep.
I think it's
You
great.
know what you're getting.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the Premier
I
Inn.
love them, man. I think they're fucking fantastic.
I'd love to be sponsored by Premier Inn one day.
Reach
Maybe we
out.
will.
Premier Inn.
I've often thought, because I think I always book it as a guest, and I probably would have some sort of loyalty points by this point if I didn't do it. Maybe I can reclaim them. I don't know.
It's a cut above the travel lodge, let me tell you.
Oh, aye, absolutely. Well, I always go for the. It's weird though because the one thing that was weird about it was I was doing a few things for like the second time. Like, so I got a photo shoot for the Fringe, and it was with the same person I'd got before. Staying in the same hotels I'd stayed in a few times, going back doing similar gigs that I've done a few times. So it's like, you almost feel like you're becoming a pure parody of yourself or something in a way. But also it's like, so when I go to this premiere and I go in London, it's just like as if that's like a house I've got or something because I'm so used to going there. I've been there about 40 times. And it's kind of weird like going back to the same place. Like, did you ever do that like when you were younger and like go and holiday to the same place more than once?
Yeah, Lanzarote we went to a few times.
And you know, it's just kind of weird into that because then
Yeah.
after that, because the good thing is, as we've often spoken about, Steve, you don't need to get your bearings.
Don't need to get your bearings. It's the key part of the holiday.
Huge part of the holiday.
That's
Getting your bearings.
the main first part, right? You need to get down, get the bags in, and then we need to go and get our bearings.
Get your bearings. Find the
That's the
shop.
problem, you know, with 4 days away there, you know, you've only got your bearings on the last day.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
But next time you go, you've got your bearings.
Your bearings are there waiting on you. They've
Yeah.
been expecting you.
But then you miss out on that sort of fresh like excitement of not knowing a place and then slowly discovering it. So there's a comfort to it because you know your bearings obviously, and you know your surroundings. But at the same time, yeah, it probably. I don't know. It probably doesn't hit different the way that a new place does.
Yeah.
You know. So there was a bit of that for my journey. Bristol was the one that I'd kind of not been to that area of town and stuff, and was a wee bit different. But the rest of it was kind of like, I feel like I've done this trip before a million times.
Especially when you're gigging and that and you're doing the same gigs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, that's what I felt like when we went to London. I'd been there loads of times, so it was good, still good. But it's like, yeah, I've done all this.
That's what I mean. No, it's like see if I was going to choose to go away on holiday, I would go somewhere that I'm not having to go for gigs. I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Or at least I would double. Did you tempted to double up and do a wee gig rather than go and see Bloody Mean Girls or something?
Nah, I'd rather just enjoy myself.
Fair enough.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do fucking some open mic. Well, I could
You can
try and
drink
get a
Top Secret or something.
boat show or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Nah, couldn't be arsed. It's also kind of like Catherine's there for a weekend away as well. I'm not gonna drag her to fucking the boat show.
A comedy show.
Yeah.
One of the best
The
things
boat
to
the
see.
boat show's good. It's run by my agent, so I shouldn't slag it. But
But it's no holiday.
Yeah,
it's not a holiday.
You saying that after that does not help.
It's not just when you're away for a weekend, you want to enjoy yourself. You don't want to be gigging.
Sure.
I had a very humiliating moment in a cafe. we had getting breakfast. We were just about to go home. We got the menu, and I was looking at the front and the back, and I was like, oh, "This is just like drinks. I don't know if it does breakfast." And we're confused, and I was like, "Oh, have you got a breakfast menu?" And he was like, "It opened the menu up."
You never thought to pull that move.
It was laminated, so it was like it just looked like a bit of paper, and I was, and
I'd love to have been there for that.
fuck me, man, I was.
Did he not
an
even say
immediate
that?
ready
I think it's passive aggressive to just.
He
do
just
it,
opened
open it.
in front of me, and immediate ready.
Yeah.
Excuse me, this screenplay for Hamilton only seems to have the title and then that's it. Open it up.
It writes itself.
It does.
Was
That's tough.
Catherine laughing at you?
No, because she couldn't figure it out either.
Did you sort of like, well, you couldn't figure it out?
That is exactly how I imagine yous are the whole time when yous are away.
Listen, it would.
He's just where are the food?
We'll
Where's
just
the
go
food?
hungry, darling.
Let me tell you,
Starving out of stupidity.
we must have looked at 12 menus that weekend, and we
And they all
nailed
opened
11 of
beautifully.
them.
Yeah, good ratio.
That's a good ratio. It was one, the last hurdle tricked us. It was laminated. It didn't look like it would open. It was
How
old in
long did you sit there for?
5 minutes. And I was starting to Google other places that done food nearby. I was like, oh, we're going to be late for the train. We
You
need to
think
get
you're in a
something
cafe
soon.
that only does drinks? So what's that business model?
But
People seem really hungry. We should maybe start knocking up some rolls or something.
it was crazy because the tables next to us had plates, and we were like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Something's not adding up.
You don't drink off those.
Something's not adding up here.
It was crazy. It was
They must have-
crazy.
they must
People on plates.
They must have brought their own plates in.
Oh, that's good. That's funny.
We had to. I had to humiliate myself and ask.
What was the waiter like
We
when
just
they said-
opened it. He just went.
No words.
No words were needed.
There's a wee knack to it.
There's an
You just
act.
open it
You
up.
open it like that.
That would have been very satisfying for him, I would imagine, to just be like, what a fucking idiot.
But it didn't even
I
smirk
bet
or
that doesn't
anything.
even happen often either. It's not.
Well, I don't know because there was no reaction, so it was almost as if like I've been here before.
Right.
Yeah.
People have been burnt in the past by this menu.
Well, I tell you what, that will never happen to you again, because if you ever see a drinks menu, I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to be...
He's going to
you're
be
gonna
ripping open ones that don't open next. Trying to tear laminate.
Oh,
Fool me twice.
I know.
That's like I think you should leave.
That is great. Well, I think that's a good way to end this week's episode. Lovely stuff. And a PSA to all you out there, if you're looking at a menu and you're
try
going, I think there's a
opening
wee bit more in this than me, say,
If people
Try
near you
opening
have plates, try opening the menu.
Try opening the menu. And I think I can write Hamilton, and I can't even open a fucking menu.
Yes.
That's embarrassing.
Well, there you go. Well, you know, they're different skills.
Yeah.
Different skills.
Very
Wildly
different
different.
Yes. Now, before we go, couple of plugs. First of all, main thing, Stu's special recording on Sunday the 27th of April, Stu.
Yes, please come to that if you're in the greater Glasgow area or willing to travel. I'm doing it twice on Sunday, the 27th of April.
At
Last time I did
Blackfriars.
it. Yeah, Blackfriars, great venue.
Merchant City.
Did it at the stand and it sold out, so let's put on 2 more. Let's pack these out.
And it's
gonna be
filmed,
great.
is it final performance of it?
Final ever performance, last chance. We're gonna film it, make it look nice.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
gonna
be
good.
opening the early show. I think me and Steve will be opening the late one.
I'll
So
be
do
there.
come along. Family affair, and it's all produced by the
Keeping it
pod
in
as
the
well. So
fam.
please do help us out with that. We're coming along to see Stu's
please do.
recording. It'll be
Tell your
fun.
pals as well. It's hard to get the word out these days.
Yeah, no, going to be a fun night.
It's a bloody good show.
Yes.
Thank you, Steve.
It's up there with Hamilton and Mean Girls in my book.
Very similar.
And I tell you what,
Could do with more songs though.
yeah,
I'll
and
try and
you're
fill
not
space.
sitting watching Stu going, I could write that. I tell you
Nah.
that much.
No, I
Some fucking
didn't.
Great, some
You
great
know?
lines you don't see
I
coming.
didn't actually.
Some saying, I wish I did write that, but no,
Yeah,
that I could.
no, that I could.
No,
do.
that I could.
Well, thank you.
Aside for that, I guess, well, obviously, you know, you can follow us know that as ever. I suppose we should probably just plug that we've all got Fringe shows on sale too, as well.
Yes. What's
Yep.
yours called now, Mark? Is it
August.
still bread and circuses?
Yeah, so we all have food themed names.
Crazy stuff.
Fucking nuts that you've done this.
Crazy.
So I went with bread and circuses. I've gone far.
Stevie, yours is called Cold Meat.
Cold meat.
And
And
Stu.
mine's called Crisps and a Lie Down.
Yes.
Lovely.
So crisps and a lie down is very in competition with bread and circuses. What would you rather? What would you rather?
I'd rather crisps than a lie down.
Would you?
Not the shows. I mean, just like
Just in terms of the food and the activity.
yeah. I would
Can
rather.
he beat
But
undefeated Crisps and a Lie Down?
Yeah.
But bread and circuses, it's a metaphor.
I don't give
But
a
they're for
fuck.
smart people, Steve. Mine isn't a metaphor.
Hey, that's my problem. I know that's
This
going
is more on my wavelength.
Mine
This
means
is for
nothing.
this is for guys who can't open menus.
Honestly, that's the audience.
Yeah, there's a menu in Stu's that's going like 2 house crisps. Lie
I'm
down.
gonna make the flyer one-sided just in case.
But yeah, so check us out there. I think that's about it for now. So yeah, just obviously usual, just follow us on that. I don't think I need to say this shit anymore, to be honest. But
Doesn't matter.
you know the usual, follow us online and that kind of stuff.
Do that.
Like and subscribe, blah blah blah. But thank you very much for tuning in as ever, guys, and we will speak to you very soon.
Very soon.
Thank you.
Right.